Hi families, welcome to kindergarten screening. It is a little different this year, but we are really appreciative of your help with this process. I'm Laura Krebaheny and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers at Granville Elementary. I've been teaching at Granville Elementary since 2006 in the role of substitute and then a third grade teacher, and now I've been in kindergarten since 2014. I have two kids. Freeman is going to be in first grade next year, and June will be a third grader. And I have been in Granville my entire life, and I went to kindergarten through 12th grade in Granville, and now I'm back. So I want to explain a little bit about what screening is. We do kindergarten screening not as an evaluation or a grade for your child, but as a baseline so that your child's teacher can prepare for the learning needs and all the experiences for your child appropriately. The process of today's screening is you will have 12 different parts for your child to complete, and each of the 12 different parts will be led by a different teacher. So you'll get to meet all the kindergarten teachers and then a couple of other faces from around the building. In each of the specific parts, a teacher will give you directions for that part. Also will tell you exactly what you need, what materials you need for that specific part. The student's job is just to listen, follow directions, and do your very best. For parents, we're asking you to observe your child and mark the score sheet that you will have emailed to you. It's a 2-page document. It's the first 2 pages of the document, and then the remainder of the pages are materials that you might need throughout the screening. Parents, accuracy is super important for preparing for learning experiences. So try your best, and I know it's difficult, but try your best not to coach your child or help your child through the steps. We need to know what they are able to do on their own so that we can help them grow at school. The things that you'll need for this, and there is a letter in your packet. So the things that you'll need are a paper and pencil, the items for sorting, items for counting, copies of the packet if that's possible for you, and then a picture book with about 3 lines of text per page. So parents, as your child completes each part, you'll mark the scoring sheet. And this is the information that will be transferred to the Google form listed at the top of the page. It's perfectly fine to take breaks during the screening process. It's fine to do it over a couple of days. And it's also fine to email us and ask us any questions that you might have. Please be aware that we'd love the scores to be entered by July 3rd. Thank you so much again for your help, and have fun.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Diddle, one of the kindergarten teachers in Granville. I've actually been a kindergarten teacher for 17 years. Another thing I love to do is bake, and I'm always making cupcakes and cakes and wonderful goodies to eat. I'm going to get us started today, and I've got 5 questions for you. You're going to say each answer out loud to the grown-up who's with you. If you don't know one of the answers, that's okay. You can just say, I don't know. Let's get started. Go ahead and say your first name. Great. How about your last name? Awesome. Now I'd like you to say your birthday. My birthday's December 1st. Only 2 more questions. Now I'd like you to say your phone number. It's okay if you don't know it. Try your best. How about your address? Your address is the number that's on your house and the road that you live on. If you know it, say it now. Awesome job! Keep up the great work as you meet the other teachers and answer some other great questions. Bye!
Hi guys, I'm Miss Weaver. I'm the half-day kindergarten teacher, and I'm so excited to meet all of you. Something cool about me is I love to be outdoors. I love to go running, I like to take walks, and most of all, I love to play soccer. Maybe we can play together sometime too. But I am here today to do a little fun activity where you have to name the parts of the body. I know what you're thinking. Miss Weaver, this will be so easy. And I hope it is, but I'm going to throw some hard ones at you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point to them on my body, and I want you to tell mom or dad or whoever's with you today what those things are called. So let's get started. The first one. Are you ready? Can you tell mom and dad, what's this that I'm pointing at? What's this called? Good. What about this? What's this called? Right here. What about this? What's this called? Good. What about these? What are these called? What about these? The things I'm wiggling. What are those called? All right, last one. See those things I painted? What are those called? These right here. Tell mom and dad. Nice work. Hopefully those weren't too tricky. And your mom or dad can give you a point for all the things that you got correct on that one. But I'm so glad you guys stopped in with me today. I hope, and I can't wait to meet you guys at school next year. Bye, guys.
Good morning. My name is Tara Parsley. I'm the physical therapist at Granville Elementary, and I will be going over the gross motor part 3 for you and your child to try. The first thing you're going to do is try to get balance on one foot, and you can have the child pick which foot is first. That's their preferred side. You're going to want to have their hands on their hips and see if they can balance for 10 seconds. Great. You want to start the counting when they maintain the balance. So if they're wiggling, you have to wait until they actually get to a static position or controlled, and hold it, and then start your counting. Then you're going to ask your child to go to the other side, their non-preferred side, and hold it for 10 seconds if they can. Again, hands on the hips, and see if they can balance. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is hopping. See if they can hop, clearing their foot off the ground. So if they have sneakers, it's probably good for this whole little gross motor section versus flip-flops. But they're going to have hands on the hips and try to hop 5 times, clearing the floor. And they would do that. If they could do 5, they get a check. And then you switch and do the other side 5 times. And this is the side I had knee surgery on, so it's a little off. And then that's it. See if they can do that for 5. The final thing you're going to do is heel-toe walking. And so you're going to start and ask them to put their heel next to their toe and walk a straight line for 5 steps. And that's pretty self-explanatory. So good luck.
Hi, my name's Holly Wheeler, and I am the occupational therapist at the elementary school. I help the teachers with things like fine motor and things like handwriting. So today I'm here to just show you how to do the visual perception or the visual motor piece of the screening. So you're going to have a sheet that looks like this, and you need a pencil. You're going to set that in front of your child, and I'm just going to do it. So do you see this form or this shape? You're going to draw this shape right here. Then you can pause the video if you want. The next shape, this is the only thing I'm doing it, never mind. You're going to draw this form right here in the bottom. You're going to draw this form right here. You're going to draw this form right here. And you're going to draw this form right here. When you're done, moms, dads, you're just going to maybe write R for right hand or L for left hand. That will help us out. When you're looking to score this, you're going to use this sheet to help you. Basically, when you're looking at the different shapes, you just don't want to have the rounded corners. So if the corners are rounded, they do not get points for that one. Each one is worth 1 point or 0. If you have any questions, give us a call or contact us. Thanks.
Hello there, boys and girls. My name is Miss Bade, and I am a kindergarten teacher. So if you see me in school, you'll probably recognize me as the very tall teacher. Another thing about me that people know is that I really love cats. They're my favorite animal, and I have 2 cats here at my house. Their names are Gus and Remy, and I love having things that have lots of cats on them. So like this pillow behind me has a little cat face there. So I am so excited to get to meet all of you guys and for you guys to start kindergarten. That's so exciting. So right now we're just going to do a quick activity together. And for this activity, you're just going to need a pencil and a piece of paper. So why don't you grab those things? Whenever you're ready, we're going to get started. All right, so now that you have your pencil and your paper, we're just going to write something about ourselves. So we're going to write our first name and our last name. And you're just going to, again, try your very best, okay? So let's start with our first name. So using that pencil, I want you to write your first name on the piece of paper. So think about what the first letter in your name is, and then write the rest of the letters in your name. Try your best to write as much as you can. You can pause the video if you need a little more time on your first name and start it up when you're ready for the next part. So after we have written our first name, now we're going to write our last name. And this one might be a little harder because we spend a lot of time practicing our first name, but not yet really our last names. So you're just going to do the best you can. So I want you to write your last name. So think about the first letter in your last name. Start with that and then try to write as much as you can of your last name. Okay, so that is all you have to do. So if you want to pause the video and finish that up, parents, once they've written their first and their last name, or as much as they can write their first and their last name, refer back to the scoring guide to look at the criteria that is needed for this to be scored correctly. So we're looking to see that they wrote all the letters in their first and last name in the correct order. Things like reversals are fine, so those would still be correct. We just need to make sure that we can tell what the letter is supposed to be. So there's information about that in the scoring guide for you to refer to as you're scoring this part of the assessment. All right, boys and girls, well, that was easy, right? That's all we needed to do today. I can't wait to meet all of you guys and to start our year in kindergarten together. It's going to be so exciting. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your summer. Bye.
Hi again, families. It's Mrs. K, and you might remember me from the very beginning of the video. And today, I'm just here to ask you to say your ABCs for me. Can you say your ABCs, friends? Parents, if they sing the ABCs for you, I'd like you to ask them to say the alphabet letter by letter. And then on the scoring sheet, you'll circle the last letter that they said without making mistakes in front of that. So if they were able to say all of the letters in the alphabet without making mistakes, you'll circle all of it. If they weren't able to do it without singing, then just make a note of that. Thanks so much. Great job, friends.
Hey families of awesome kindergartners that are coming to us soon. My name is Miss Durham, and I teach full day kindergarten at our school. I have been teaching kindergarten in Granville. I believe this is my 8th year. And then before that, I was a substitute in Granville for a couple years. And then I also taught preschool, I believe, for 7 years at Granville Child Care Center too. So a little bit about me. I love the outdoors. Anything that I can do outdoors, camping, fishing, hiking, any of that stuff is just my favorite thing to do, and it makes me so happy. In fact, I do a lot of my teaching outside as well, and we learn about all the things around us that are outside. So I'm going to show you today how to do the assessment that has to do with sorting. So what you'll need for this one is this sheet of paper here that looks like this. I didn't have a color printer at my house, so I just colored them in blue and green. And then you're going to cut them all out and set them in front of your kiddo like this. Now, if you don't have a printer at home, you can use something else that has at least 2 different colors and 2 different shapes and 2 different sizes, if that makes sense. You can use blocks at home or some other kind of thing that they can use to sort along the same attributes that we're going to talk about today. So the first thing you're going to say to your kiddo is, I want you to sort these for me. Put all of the large blue ones in a group. And then you're going to say, okay, now this time, kiddo, you're going to put all the small triangles in a group. So then they're going to look through, hopefully, and pull out all the small triangles. So then, if they get that correct, you're going to also give them a check mark. We can't wait to meet your kiddos this year and get to know them soon. I hope you guys are having fun doing this with your kiddos. All right, bye.
Hi, almost kindergartners. My name is Mrs. Gibbs, and I'm a full-day kindergarten teacher. So if you are coming to full day, I might be your teacher, and I am so excited to start kindergarten with you. One thing that you might not know about me is that I have 2 sons. One is 4 and one is 7. So one of my sons will be in kindergarten, not this coming year, but the next year. And then my older son named London is 7 and he'll be in 2nd grade. So I can't wait to meet you guys in the fall. Boys and girls, another thing that you might not know about me is that I love teaching. And today I was going to see if you could do some counting for me. I want you to count for me. I want you to count as far as you can. And when your mom or dad or whoever's doing this with you tells you to stop, you can stop. I'm gonna see if you can count all the way up to 30. If not, no big deal. Just count as far as you can. Start with 1, 2, good job, keep going, 3. Good job, count as far as you can.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Thatcher, and I'm the school counselor here at Granville Elementary. One fun fact I wanted to share with you is that I got to go to the Granville schools K through 12 as well. So I got to start out at kindergarten in Granville Elementary, just like you're starting in kindergarten. So today we're going to be practicing with number sense. So parents, at this time, I'm going to have you get out the 10 small objects. It can be something like cubes or blocks, 10 little cars or Legos. We can even use fingers if you prefer for your child to show on their fingers. All right, parents, one more thing to mention is that if your child has 2 incorrect responses in a row, that is where you will stop. Otherwise, we would continue going to the very end. All right, here we go. Show me this many objects. Okay, put your cubes all back together in a pile, and we'll move on to the next one. Show me this many objects. Okay, so go ahead and put all your objects back together in a pile. Here's the next one. Show me this many objects. Okay, put your objects all back in the pile together. Now show me this many objects. Okay, Put all your objects back together in a pile. And here's the next one. Show me this many of your objects. Okay, so put all your cubes together, objects back together in a pile. That was it. Thank you for helping us, parents, and I look forward to meeting everybody.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Parkin. I'm an intervention specialist. I work a lot with kindergarten classrooms, and I've been a teacher for 15 years now. For this part of the screening, we're going to be doing determines total of 2 sets. The only materials you need are the paper dominoes. The first step is you're going to ask the child to count the shapes, the dots or stars on both ends of a domino to determine the total number of shapes on the domino. Point to one end of the domino at a time, and then you'll point to the other end. So as they're looking at this, you'll start with number 1, and you'll say this many dots and this many dots make how many dots? Then you'll move to 2 and repeat the same steps. This many dots and this many dots make how many dots? Then you'll move on to number 3 with the stars. This many stars and this many stars make how many stars? So you'll do all 3 of them, and really you're just looking to make sure that they are counting the whole set. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Ruth Ellen Cosman, known as Mrs. Cosman at the elementary school. I'm the reading specialist serving kindergarten and 1st grade. An interesting fact about me is that it seems as if, oh goodness, over the last 10 years or so, many children who have registered for kindergarten have parents that I taught as students in my 1st grade and 2nd grade classes at Violet Elementary in Pickerington. It is absolutely wonderful to see those faces again. The section I'm sharing with you today is for your child to be able to name uppercase and lowercase letters. It may say there on the script that we're only doing one, but we really would like to see both uppercase and lowercase letters. You have some rows of letters, and one tip you can use if your child is having trouble staying focused or is easily distracted by so many letters on a page, you can take a blank sheet and cover up and just do one row at a time. That's very appropriate, may be helpful. And all you're going to do is follow what it says in the script. You point to the letter and ask your child, what is this letter? Or what is the name of the letter? If they give you the sound, if they say aw or ah, you just correct them and say that's the sound this letter makes. What is the name of the letter? We want them to be able to go through and say O, A, X. You're just going to circle the ones that they get correct, all of the correct responses, and you discontinue this once they get 3 wrong in a row, or they have 3 that are incorrect side by side in a row, you would stop. I'm sure they'll do their best, and it really does help us to know which letters they do know and which ones they don't. Thank you, parents, for helping us, and I so look forward to meeting all of them when we start kindergarten this coming fall. Bye-bye.
Hello, new student. I cannot wait to meet you. My name is Mrs. Gurney, and my job at our school is the instructional coach. And to be the instructional coach, it means that my job is to help the teachers be the best teachers that they can be, but it also means that I get to teach all of the kids in our whole building. And I especially love to teach kindergartners. So I'm so glad that's who you are going to be very soon. And I hope that I get to meet you very soon. So what we're going to do today is we are going to practice
thinking about the different parts of a book. And what I want to do with you is first I want to be able to see if you can figure out the front and the back of the book. So if you have an adult with you, that adult is going to show you a book and they're going to ask you a question about it. And so families, you can feel free to pause this video if you need to ask the question, and pause the video for your scoring guide. So we are on question 12. So you might say to the child, show them the book and say to them, can you point to the front and the back of the book? You could say, show me the front of this book. You could say, show me the back of the book. And if the child knows both, then you can give credit for knowing the front and the back of the book. Our next section is to understand that text goes from left to right. And so if you're reading a book to a child, you point to any word except for the last word in a line of a text. And you ask, which word do I read after this word? And he or she would point to the next word to the right. And so you open the book to a page with a line of text, point to a word in the line of text, any word except for the last word in the line, and you ask, which word do I read after I read this word? Feel free to pause this video and do that right now. Point to a word in the text, any except for the last line of the text, and ask the child, which word do I read after I read this word? You can pause here and try that now. Give credit to the child if they point to any next word in the line. Our next section is to understand that text progresses from top to bottom. So if you are reading a book to a child and you point to the last word in a line of text and you ask, which word do I read after this word? Would he or she point to the first word in the next line? So when using an open picture book, point to the last word in a line of text, any line of text except for the last line on the page. And then you ask, which word do I read after I read this word? So try that. Have your book ready. Point to the last word in a line of text, any word except for the last word on the page. That's the last line in the text. And say to the child, which word do I read after I read this word? Pause here to ask that question. You can give credit if the child points to the first word in the next line of text. That's the end of this section. Families and students, I cannot wait for the day when I get to meet you and see you. I hope you have a happy summer.
Friends, you made it to the very end of our video. Thank you again so much for helping us with this process. Remember to please email us if you have any questions about the process or the screening in general. We are so excited about the fall to meet your child and to make it an awesome year for them. Please remember to have your scores filled in by July 3rd. Thank you so much again.